cannot die with people thinking I'm a rapist or a criminal. I can't leave until this shit is straight.
You won't look at Tupac the same after you watch this.
They just say anything to assassinate my character. What that showed me, remember this lack of a conscience when I come out.
Because this lost interview just a few months before he passed in 1996 shows a man that had gone inside the belly of the beast and seen something very dark indeed. Subscribe to Elites Exposed for more and watch this for yourself.
I thought I could retire and move on. When I moved on to the so-called real world, the civilized world, these motherfuckers is worse than the niggas in the streets. They was telling me, I had little girls writing to me crying, saying you got raped in jail, I'm so sorry. That shit right there is what will fuel the anger that will never die. I had to write letters to 1,000 little kids explaining to them that I would be dead before a motherfucker would rape me, and you know that. So, as far as everybody, there is no mercy in my heart. You know what I mean? I'm not out here on no wild shit like I was before. This is not the same Tupac, believe me. I'm just very pissed off. And don't think because you see me at an award show smiling or giving away an award, or because I don't fight it this time, and that don't mean I ain't mad. I'm pissed off. And this don't tell me ain't nothing wrong and we should all be together and woo-woo-woo because y'all ain't getting no more money. You ain't getting no money because I made it that way.
And looking back at this interview now in hindsight sounds absolutely prophetic. Because the decay and rot among the big music labels and their talentless puppets you see today is exactly the status quo that Tupac was up against in the 90s. I mean, all you need to do is take a look at how the Sean Diddy scandal has exposed a trail of blackmail, deceit, and perversion in the entire industry. And the last thing that rotten system wanted was someone like Tupac who would come and just flip the table on their face. Because here's something I can't stop thinking about. Tupac, before and after the year 1994, was almost two different people and two different artists. Because it was the year he almost lost his life in an attack outside the Quad recording studio, where he suspected the involvement of Sean Diddy and Biggie Smalls to take him out of the picture. And Tupac's suspicions only grew when Biggie released a song taunting him just a few months later called Who Shot Ya, which many still interpret as more than just a subtle diss.
Do you think Puffy was involved in shooting?
Only they can answer that question. I have my own opinion, but I wouldn't slander their name like they did mine. I wouldn't say things that I knew, you know what I mean? I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. Because you seen what I said in the Vibe article. I basically bowed out. It was gonna go ahead about my life.
But the truth is, what couldn't kill Tupac only made him stronger. Because after surviving an attempt on his life with 5 bullet wounds, he had also seen what true betrayal looks like up close. The same people he regarded as his peers ended up kicking him at his lowest moment, even to the extent of doubting if he was even attacked or if it was simply a publicity stunt instead.
Everybody knew what I did, they knew what I said, I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times and acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the bullet. The police found it, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work. They found the bullet. Oh, you found the bullet, huh? So what is this other shit in me then? What was the doctors talking about? What? Can you explain these other holes in me?
I mean, imagine how violently that illusion must have shattered for Tupac and how alone he must have felt in that moment. Because just a couple months after that, he was put behind bars for a case of sexual abuse that he denied all the way to his grave.
Someone said, where do you see Tupac 10 years from now? He said, hey, I just want to be alive. That's real for you.
That's so real. I made a metamorphosis. I'm a new person today. Because I used to strongly and honestly, I feel like I could represent my generation so much because I honestly did not care whether I lived or died. But now, I cannot die with people thinking I'm a racist or a criminal. I can't leave until this is straight. You know, I'm not suicidal. I can't go until y'all really know what time it is. And then after that, boom, it's all over. And we can see, you know, how this shit fall. But that's how it is. And the reason being is because if I can't live free, if I can't live with the same respect as the next man, I don't want to be here. Because God has cursed me to see what life should be like. If God wanted me to be this person and be happy here, he wouldn't let me feel so oppressed.
And that's what a man sounds like when he truly cares about the legacy he's leaving of his last name. Because remember, when the law itself is out to get you, it turns the process into the punishment. The mere fact that Tupac had to spend years behind bars, have his name slandered in the media, and then spend millions just to defend himself legally was an attempt to get him to shut up and get back in line.
But they got this cool way to keep a brother broke. Like you say, I got like 7 lawsuits against me for nothing. But I still got to pay the lawyers, still got to pay everybody to go to court, still got to pay for a bodyguard, because now they say I got to have one.
Plus, I've spoken about this before, but Tupac during his prison sentence noticed an even uglier side to how the industry elites and the corrupt media try to break you. Because not only was his voice shut out behind bars for allegations of abuse, there was almost a coordinated attempt to lie that Tupac himself was being assaulted inside prison by other inmates. And I think, knowing what we know now, it is precisely this kind of emasculation and humiliation that the industry wants you to feel if you step out of line. And when Tupac finally got out a year later, he was absolutely stone cold and out for revenge against the media and industry establishment that had printed lie after lie about him.
Because they disrespected me, my name, my family, what I had been through. They said that I couldn't be in pain. I could not feel, I could not be hurt. In my moment of pain, when I was shot 5 times in jail for a crime I didn't commit, while every other black person, I mean, whoever they was f***ing babies in the ass or killing bitches and cutting them in 50 pieces, these niggas got support. I go to jail for a crime everybody know I did not commit, get shot 5 times, and I'm getting in jail, wompty. They just say anything to assassinate my character. What that showed me, remember this lack of a conscience when I come out. Remember this lack of mercy when I come out. Remember this lack of compassion when I come out. But now I come out, everybody want to calm down and relax and forget what you said. Donnie Simpson was on TV in front of bars like this going, who am I? Tupac. But I'm wrong. You feel me? Niggas is hypocrites.
And when I say the process is the punishment, that's exactly what I mean. Because imagine defending your name not just as someone who they say committed assault, but as someone they say was assaulted in jail himself by other inmates as a way to break his masculine ego. In Tupac's life, radio and TV personalities at the time like Wendy Williams and Jay Leno were the people spinning up these rumors in the media the most. And to me, it just feels like all of that betrayal came crashing down on him from every direction all at once, turning him into a completely different man after 1994. Now, there's one particular section from this interview that truly stuck with me, because when Tupac speaks about God and religion is when you realize this man was far ahead of his years, and that's despite just being 25 years old when his life met an untimely end just a few months after this interview.
So I believe God blesses us. I believe God blesses those that hustle, those that use their mind, and those that overall are righteous. I believe that your karma, everything that you do bad comes back to you. So anything that I'm doing that's bad, I'm gonna have to suffer for. But in my heart, I think what I'm doing is right. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm going to heaven. You know what I mean? And I think heaven is just when you sleep with a good conscience. You don't have nightmares. And hell is when you sleep, the last thing you see is all the up things you did in your life. And you just see it over and over again. Because you don't burn. Because if that's the case, it's hell on earth. Because bullets burn. You know what I mean? It's people that got burnt in fires. That means they went to hell already. You know what I mean? All that is here. Yeah. So what else? What do you got there that we ain't seen here? Right. What, you gonna walk around aimlessly, the zombie? That's here. You ain't been on the streets lately. You know what I mean? What heaven is now. Look, we sitting up here in the big screen. It's heaven for the moment. You know what I mean? Hell is jail. I seen that one. Trust me, this is what's real. And all that other shit is to control you. If the churches took half the money that they was making and gave it back to the community, we'd be all right. If they take half the buildings that they use to praise God and gave it to motherfuckers who need God, we'd be all right. We be all right. Have you seen some of these goddamn churches lately? It's ones that take up the whole block in New York. It's homeless people out here. Why ain't God letting them stay there? Why these niggas got gold ceilings and shit? Why God need gold ceilings to talk to me? Why do God need colored windows to talk to me? Why God can't come where I'm at, where he sent me? If God wanted to talk to me in a pretty spot like that, why the hell he sent me here then? You know what I mean? That make ghetto kids not believe in God. Why? So that's a wrong religion. I believe in God. I believe God put us wherever we want to be at. Then it makes sense that God will put us in the ghetto. That means he wants us to work hard to get up out of here. That means he's testing us even more. That makes sense. It makes sense that if you're good in your heart, then you closer to God. But if you evil, then you close to the devil. That makes sense. I see that every day.
It absolutely does, which is why there's a special place in music history for the likes of Tupac, who refused to just be degenerate mouthpieces for the elites and money printers for the record labels. Instead, he knew his place was as a thought leader with his rap as the megaphone, and he left behind a bigger legacy in a few short years than others could only dream of in their lifetime. But there's something more perverse about the music industry that even Cat Williams recently exposed. So do watch my breakdown of that bombshell revelation here, and subscribe to Elites Exposed for more.